Okay, today we are going to start look forward the chapter that is limiting factor, right? 5 limiting factor. Limiting factor. The thing is limiting factor. What do you mean by limiting factor? That is if you are dealing with any kinds of business, you have to deal with several kinds of resources, production related factors. As for example, capital. You need capital for making production, right? If you want to go for production, first of all you need capital. You need technological support. You need labor forces, either skilled or semi-skilled. That means labor hour, you can say. So this segment actually we have discussed in F2 earlier cases. So limiting factor means factor within the production factor that limit your production. As for example, you have unlimited amount of, that means you have unlimited capital, but you do not have that much labor forces to produce certain amount. In that case, labor force is your limiting factor. Because of the scarcity of labor forces, you have to restrain yourself to produce a certain amount of things. You have unlimited labor forces, unlimited amount of machine hour, but you do not have that much capital. That's why, because of depending upon the capital, amount of capital, you have to restrain yourself to produce some specific amount, right? That means you have to restrict yourself to produce something. That means you cannot go for producing unlimited because of the unavailability of a specific factor. That's why the name is limiting factor. So limiting factor may be labor forces, limiting factor may be labor hour, machine hour, even amount of capital, even amount of demand. Suppose you have unlimited amount of capital structure. You have unlimited amount of capital, right? Unlimited amount of labor hour, unlimited amount of machine hour. That means you can go for making any amount of production, but your market has some specific amount of demand. Suppose, as for example, you are producing this kinds of pen. In this market, the demand is, suppose, as for example, 100. So if you produce more than 100, in that case there may be a possibility of loss. That's why you have to restrict yourself to produce within 100, not more than 100. So these are the limiting factors. That means factor that limit the production. Clear? Now we can easily find out the amount of limiting factor. That means, as for example, demand of, you are producing product A and product B. Suppose demand for product A is 100 and demand for product B is suppose 50. Product A requires 2 hours labor hour, product B requires 1 hour labor hour. Clear? Now the thing is, it is your demand. This is the required amount of labor forces. Suppose, as for example, your total labor hour available is 100 hour. 100 hour. In that case, by using this 100 hour, you can go for manufacturing your product, right? As the labor hour is scarce here, limited here, so you can say labor hour is a limiting factor. So these kinds of discussion we have discussed in the F2 segment. So I'm not going further. But the fact is, until this level of discussion, we are talking about one individual limiting factor. Depend upon one individual limiting factor, how we can go for making any kinds of decision. এখানে আমরা কিভাবে ডিসিশন নিতাম? এখানে আমরা নিতাম, in this segment we have to take the decision, that is we have to make sure maximum possible uses of our limiting factors. Optimum production plan আমরা কিভাবে করতাম? In this segment we need to find out contribution per limiting factor of each individual product, right? Then we rank the product according to contribution per limiting factor. Suppose, as for example, contribution per limiting factor, product A is 2 and product A is B is 3. Suppose, as for example, what does it mean? That means by using 1 hour of limiting factor, this product is generating $3 contribution. Whereas by using 1 hour of limiting factor, this product is generating 2 hours of contribution. So if you want to make sure, that is, make sure to use best use of your limiting factor, in that case this product is generating more contribution by using per limiting factor, so this product is more profitable for you. So in that case, in making the production plan, we focus to produce this one first. After completing the demand of this one, if any amount of resources is available there, then we can go for producing the next segments. So this is the way of doing the decision, right? Regarding or focusing with one limiting factor. যখন একটা limiting factor. But it may be possible you have to handle with more than one limiting factor, right? In that case, this mathematical process cannot be followed. In that case, if we have to deal with more than one limiting factor, in that case, you have to go through the graphical methods. Graphical method. And doing this graphical method, you have to go through some specific graphs or linear equations. In your F2 exam, this graphical method is very much important because you can expect to have at least one question from these graphical methods. So you can go for, or you can take an example from your book for this discussion. As for example, according to your BPP, suppose an example that is 4.1, example 4.1. We'll discuss this through 4.1. In this segment, we'll discuss graphical method to make the optimum production plan with handling more than one limiting factor. Then from this, we'll discuss shadow price or dual entry price. Then we'll discuss slack and surplus. So from this discussion that we are going to start, in this segment we'll discuss these four components. One is graphical method to calculate, or graphical method to handle with more than one limiting factor to maximize the production plan, shadow price or dual entry price, slack and surplus. This is all about this chapter. Now, initially graphical methods to deal with more than one limiting factor. Suppose as for example 4.1. See, WX company manufactures two products A and B. So suppose you are the manufacturer, you are producing two different kinds of products. And then the fact is both products pass through two production departments. That means there are two departments. Each individual product has to pass through both these departments. Product A is sold for 1.5, whereas product B is priced $2. Price individual product is there. Then there is unlimited demand for product A, but demand for product B is limited to 13,000. So this is your first limiting factor. Suppose end of the day you need to find out how many A and how many B should be produced so that you can maximize your profit, right? The fact is just like that. Suppose as for example, we will produce A X number and B will produce Y number. The first limiting factor is there, that is you can produce X unlimited amount, unlimited demand is there. But for B is limited to 13,000 units. That means first unequal is that is Y number of B. That is Y limited to 13,000 units. That is it will be less than or equal to 13,000 units. So this is your first inequality equation. Then, so it is a kind of limiting factor. That means as the demand is 13,000, you cannot go for producing more than 13,000 because demand is 13,000. So it is a kind of limiting factor, one of it. Then there are unlimited the machine hour available in each department are restricted to 2,400 hours per annum. Both departments have 2,400 machine hour available. So it is also restricted. And you guys are provided, see, machine hour, product A mixing department and shaping. There are two different departments. To produce each individual A, mixing department require 0.06 hour and shaping department require 0.04 hour. So by using this information we can make another two inequalities. The fact is we are assuming we will produce X number of A and Y number of B. So if you think about the mixing department, to produce X number, mixing department require 0.06 X hour, and to produce Y number of B, mixing department require 0.08 hour bar. That is plus 0.08 Y. This will be the total hour. But the fact is, this is restricted to 400 hours. This is our second inequality. Then this is for mixing department and shaping department. That is 0.04x plus 0.12y. This will also be equal to or less than 24. This is number 3. So these are the three inequalities, or you can say these are the limiting factors. You have unlimited amount of capital, as for example, unlimited amount of labor forces, but the thing is machine hour is restricted to 240. So you cannot go for beyond 240, right? So these are the limiting factors. So here you have to deal with three existing limiting factors. So obviously we have to go through the graphical methods. Clear? Now what should be the process? Now another important thing is there is contribution. The fact is, the question is you have to find out the maximum contribution. That means each individual A's selling price is 1.5 and variable cost is 1.3. তাহলে বাদ দিলে কত হয়? 0.2. So each individual X will generate 0.2. So X will 0.2x contribution will be generated by X number of unit plus Y selling price is 2 and variable cost is 1.7. 2 minus 1.7. 0.3y. So you need to find out the number of X and Y so that this contribution will be maximum by using these three limiting factors. Clear? So as there are more than one limiting factor, we have to go through graphical methods. Clear? Now the thing is, okay. Now the fact is, see, আমরা এটাকে লিখিও y equal to suppose 13,000, then 0.06x plus 0.08y equal to 2400, and another is 0.04x plus 0.12y equal to 2400. আমরা এটা মুছে ফেলি, হ্যাঁ? তোমাদের পরীক্ষা হলে নিশ্চয়ই এই গ্রাফ আঁকতে আসবে না, বাট graphical representation related some question will be there. So you need to find out, or you need to know how the graph actually activated. Suppose initially if you take a look of each individual equation, you can find out some specific point to draw a line. Each individual equation actually represents a equation of a line. Suppose as for example y equal to 13,000. Y equal to 13,000, that means it will be a line which is parallel to x-axis. We will see later on. Then suppose this is 0.06 0.06x 0.08 y equal to 4. Oh, 0.06x plus 0.08 y equal to 400. If you think x equal to 0, in that case you can find out y equal to something. That is, y equal to কত হবে? If x equal to 0, y equal to 2400 ভাগ 0.08 কত আসে? 2400 divided by 0.08, 30,000. 30,000. So it's the point. We can find out a specific point. Suppose this is our point P1. At the same time, if y equal to 0, we can find out x equal to how much? X will be 2400 divided by 0.06 কত আসে? 40,000, 40,000. So suppose this is P2. So we can find out the coordinates of these two lines from x-axis and y-axis. Then you can find out or you can draw a line. Clear? আচ্ছা, তাহলে এটা একটা গেল। See, then এখান থেকে আসো। Suppose this is P3. ওই ইকুয়েশন থেকে আমরা পেতে পারি when x equal to 0 এখান থেকে 0.04x plus 0.12y equal to 2400. So here, if x equal to 0, then y equal to what will be? 20,000. 20,000. এই পয়েন্টগুলো একটা খাতায় একটু লিখে রাখো। And if y equal to 0, then x equal to how much? 2400 divided by 0.04. 60,000. Just write down this is P4. So write down these 4 point coordinates. One is 0,30,000. একটু লিখে রাখো। আমরা এখানে লিখে রাখতে পারি। এখান থেকে আমরা পাচ্ছি আমরা P1 কত পাচ্ছি? 0,30,000. And another is P2. That is how much?
40,000.
No, 40,000. X coordinates of x should be first. 40,000 0. Then here P3 will be 0,20,000. 0,20,000. And P4 will be how much? 60,000 0. 60,000 0. Now we can go for making a see. এখানে দেখো, now the graph will be just like this one. You have to write down a vertical axis, that means y axis, and horizontal axis, that is x axis, right? 0, y, and x. See the values 20, 30, 40, 60. So we can find out 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So now we can find out the linear equation. We can plot the linear representation through this graph. First one, y equal to 30,000. It will be a x-axis parallel line, right? Y 30,000 means 10, 30 will be just like this one. This is y equal to 13,000. Then we have to find out the point of P1 and P2. P1 is 0,30,000. 0, 30,000. That means here, this is P1, 0,30,000. Then P2, 40,000, 40,000. This will be the P2, 40,000, 0. So we can find out the line of this. This will be the line. And this represents the equation of 0.06x plus 0.08 y equal to 244. Then another line, that is 0,20,000. This will be the 0,20,000, right? 0,20,000. This is P3. and another point will be 60,000 0. 60,000 0. This will be the before 60,000 0. So we can draw a line just like this. Clear? Now, after drawing the line, you need to find out the point. You need to point out the coordinates of those points which are within all this line. See? This point, this one, sorry. This one, and this one. So you can have a feasible reason within all this time. This is the feasible reason. Feasible reason means the reason within all this time. এই দেখো এর যে কোনো একটা সাইডে তুমি যাও কোন একটা রেখার বাইরে চলে যাবে, but this portion is within all this line. So point 1 2 3 4, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. The coordinates of these 4 points, any of these 4 points, in the case of 1 and in the case of 4, in the case of 1, x equal to 0. In the case of 4, y equal to 0. It is not feasible point because you have to produce both the things. That's why the feasible point will be either 2 or 3. So you can find out the coordinates of 2 and 3. How you can do that? If you want to find out the coordinates of 2, the coordinates of 2 actually constructed by using two different lines. Y equal to 13,000 and another is this line. That is 0.04x plus 0.12y equal to 2400. So by using y equal to 13,000 and 0.04x plus 0.12y equal to 2400, you can find out the coordinates of this point. Then this one, you can also find out the coordinates of this point by using the equation of these two lines, right? So each coordinates actually represent the number of x and y that you have to produce, right? Then that number can be plotted in here. Which point give you the best or max, that will be your ultimate production plan. Gist বোঝা গেছে? এখন এইটাকে আরেকটু সহজ করে দিই, you can go for more easy way. That is যেটাকে বলে আইসোস্কেল লাইন ড্রয়িং। তোমাদের পরীক্ষার হলে এরকম একটা আসতে পারে যে you are providing this kinds of graph. Clear? এই গ্রাফ দেয়া আছে। এখন খেয়াল করো, to find out the coordinates of these two lines, it is some time consuming. Right? Graph দেয়া আছে, বললো যে which will be the ultimate production plan. So in that case, finding out the coordinates is time consuming but easy. So we can go for another way to find out quickest, or which is we can say quickest way to find out the coordinates, which is called isoscale line drawing. Isoscale line drawings means, suppose this is, we need to find out the contribution next, right? So we can plot any amount, 0.2x plus 0.3y, suppose 3,000. You can plot any amount, but see the values 30, 40, 20, just like that. Here, so আমি এটা আরো বাড়াই দিতে পারি 30,000 suppose. So here, if x equal to 0, then y equal to how much? দেখো তো, 30,000 ভাগ 0.2, আচ্ছা আমরা এটাকে আরেকটু কমাই দিই, বেশি হবে 3,000 divided by 0.2, 15,000. And if y equal to 0, then x equal to 3,000 divided by 0.3, then by 0.2, sorry. ঠিক করছো তো? উল্টা করছো। x equal to 0, তখন y equal to কত আসে? 3,000 divided by 0.0. এটা 10,000. And এটা কত আসে? How much? 15,000, 15,000. So we can draw a specific line. One is 0, 10,000. 0, 10,000 means here. And another is 0, 15,000. 15,000 will be just like here. Suppose. So this is our isosceles line. Then we need to move this isosceles line upward than origin. Upward. This line also go below. But still this line remain. The last point will provide you the optimum solution. Clear? First of all, draw a isosceles line. Then just parallel to the isosceles line, move your scale upward. This point go below. Still, this one is the optimum solution, optimum point. So this point will provide you the maximum contribution. So you can find out the coordinates of this point. Clear? বোঝা গেছে? Okay. So by finding out the coordinates of that point, we can find out the maximum contribution that can be generated by the existing optimal solution, right? Now the thing is, it বোঝা গেছে? Graph is clear. Now we go for making discussion about this is another important question, that is shadow price. Shadow price, or you can say dual entry price, or you can say opportunity cost. Initially, whatever the discussion we have discussed already, we find out some specific amount of X and Y and contribution. See, there are two inequalities. One was 0.06x plus 0.04y, 0.08y 2400. Another was 0.04x plus 12y 2400. By using these two equations, see from the last discussion, by using these two equations, we are finding our points, right? Now the question is, what is shadow price? So by using these two equations, we can find out a specific C. Now the thing is, if you can manage yourself to arrange one extra unit of this one, is the limiting factor that is limited to 2400. So if you can make yourself arrange one extra hour of that, in that case it will provide you another C, right? Another C. Initially C1, suppose this will be C2. The difference between these two is the shadow price. Why this is shadow price? That means if you can manage yourself to arrange one extra unit of any limiting factor, it will add some extra unit of contribution with the previous one. That extra unit contribution that can be generated if you can manage yourself to extra one unit of limiting factor, which you cannot afford. That's why that is your opportunity cost or shadow price. Then this one suppose 2400. If you can make yourself arrange to add one extra unit of limiting factor, in this case it will provide you C3, another C3. Initial C and difference between initial and this one, it will be the shadow price of if you can generate one extra unit of this limiting factor. So what do you mean by shadow price? So as a whole we can say, by generating one extra unit of limiting factor, how much contribution that can be generated with the usual, that is the limiting, that is the shadow price or dual entry price, or you can say opportunity cost. Why opportunity cost? You are not afforded or you are not capable to generate that much, that individual unit. That's why you are sacrificing that much contribution. Clear? বোঝা গেছে? This is shadow price. Then last one আসো। Slack. Slack. One is slack, another is surplus. We have already discussed that is by using different amount of inequalities or equation how we can find out the things. That means we can make some optimum production plan by using some inequalities. We have discussed. Now the thing is, factor that limit your production, these are scarce resources. That means you have to make sure yourself, or you have to make the production plan such that you can make sure yourself to best use the limiting factor or scarce resources. তোমার কাজই হচ্ছে কি প্রোডাকশন প্ল্যানটা এমন হবে যে স্কেয়ার রিসোর্সটা তুমি সর্বোচ্চভাবে ইউজ করতে পারো। Now the thing is, if your production plan is such that you cannot afford yourself to use the full scarce resources. Just for example, suppose example 0.1x plus, suppose 1x and 2y equal to 20. Initially it was less than equal to 20. So you have to make a production plan of this x and y such that you can use, or you can make sure 100% use of this 20 some kinds of resources. Now the thing is, if x equal, suppose your optimum production plan, if x equal to 2, suppose 2, in that case 1 into 2, and your calculated y is suppose 5, 2 into 5, in that case 2 plus 10, that means 12. That means your optimum production plan, by using your optimum production plan, you are using only 12 units of this limiting factor or scarce resources. Still 8 units of limiting factor or scarce resources retained, unused. That means your plan is not capable to use or make sure using of 100% limiting factor. That's why this is slack. So slack comes from less than equal to. That means at your optimum production plan, if you cannot make sure yourself to use the 100% of your scarce resources, the remaining amount is your slack. So remaining amount actually comes from less than equal to. Clear? Now surplus. 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 Suppose, as for example, X, we can say you have to produce X at least 5. So what will be the equation? The X will be greater than or equal to 5. Right? You have to produce two different kinds of product, X and Y. But for X, it is provided that you have to produce at least 5x. That is actually, you cannot go for without producing X. You have to produce X, and the amount is at least 5. So you can produce more than 5, not less than 5. Now the thing is, if your optimum production plan, according to your optimum production plan, if X equal to 20, that is from the least amount requirement, in comparison to least amount requirement, you are producing 15 units more. From the least amount of requirement, you are producing 15 units more. 15 is your surplus. So surplus comes from greater than equal to. Slack comes from less than equal to. Surplus comes from greater than equal to. So this is all about the limiting factor of this chapter. Okay, go through. Thank you.